Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us today for the 40th Annual Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. I'm Cindy Farson, and I'm the Director of the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. For this 40th anniversary, I've been here for over half of them, I guess, and each one is very special to us because of the individual stories you're going to hear about from the people that we honor today. For those that may not know us, the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging, our mission of our organization is to develop a network of quality programs and services that promotes choice, independence, and dignity for older adults, their families, and our communities. We do that by providing information and assistance to individuals and caregivers. We case manage and purchase service packages on behalf of 7,000 individuals. We grant federal and state funds to our local partners for things like home-delivered meals and transportation. And we do many other services that advocate for individuals and for effective aging policy. But today what we do is celebrate terrific folks in our communities who really know how to stay involved, contribute, and set great examples for all of us. You know, successful organizations of all types in our community, they depend on volunteers and they depend on very innovative citizens to help them get the job done. Well, everybody that you meet here today, they were already talented and involved their whole lives. They just never stopped doing it, thank goodness. There's so many studies on aging out there about what factors keep us living long lives. Now, I have a friend that just passed away at 101 who said it was her secret was the 3 C's: candy, chips, and a cocktail. I think genetics and a good sense of humor probably were better influences to her long and happy life. But no one disputes how staying active and involved has a positive effect. And the proof is in our program with the pictures and the stories about all the individuals we're honoring today. So here on the 40th anniversary of the Hall of Fame, we have the 2015 inductees ready to honor. There are 13 this year from all of our 8 counties. And I'd also like to acknowledge the wonderful past inductees who are with us today on this anniversary. It's always so great to see them again. I wonder if they could stand in the audience. They all have pins. Let's give them a warm welcome. And now I'd like to introduce Alan McKnight, the Director of Columbus Recreation and Parks. COAAA is a part of Recreation and Parks, and Alan has just been the best person to work with these past years. He is a tremendous supporter and problem solver on our behalf, and Alan is retiring from Recreation and Parks after a 39-year career with the department. So you know all the nice things I say about him are true. I'm not trying to get him to do anything more for us, Alan. He's retiring at the end of the month. So let's give him a warm welcome.
Thanks, Cindy. I'm going to try, was it candy, chips, cocktails? Is that the longevity life there? Well, welcome to the Martin Janis Center. I want to thank you all for coming out today. This is one of 28 centers that we operate throughout the city, and we provide a wide range of programs. The Martin Janis Center here, we have programs such as lapidary, woodworking, music, dance, great model railroad club. And if you had a chance when you got here today and walk around and look at some of the artwork from our creative arts event that's been going on all week, and last Wednesday we presented awards to the outstanding artists that participated in this program. So we've got a very active program here at Martin Janis. And I want to thank Doreen Gaucher. I think I saw her in the back of the room a few moments ago, who's the center manager here. They do a great job in providing programs for seniors throughout the city. Now, during my 39 years with the department, we've offered programs for all ages. And Recreation and Parks, sometimes I think a lot of folks think of them as mainly serving youth. But we have programs for youth all the way through seniors. We've got a lot of other senior centers out there, the Gilley Center, the Dodge Center, Marion Franklin, Whetstone, in addition to the Martin Janis Center. And we've continued to provide quality programs to older adults throughout the years that I've been here and want to continue to do that. We're very thankful that we have a strong program and can offer these services. Of course, COAAA really adds another dimension to the programs we offer. And in addition to the recreation programs, they provide a lot of those services that Cindy was talking about a few minutes ago that help out seniors not only in Franklin County, but in an 8-county region. So we want to thank her and thank Cindy for all her staff and all her staff for the work they do, and especially for putting on this program. This is the 40th year, I guess, of the Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. So Cindy, thank you for all that you do and all of your staff to put this program together. The mission of the Recreation and Parks Department is to enrich the lives of our citizens. We're able to do that in part because of the many volunteers that help us out. In the past year, we had over 125,000 hours of volunteer time contributed to our department. We could not provide the programs and the services that we do without volunteers. That equates to almost $2.5 million if we had to go out and hire those staff to do the work that they do. So volunteers are extremely important to us. And today we're honoring 13 individuals, and they'll be recognized for giving so much of their time and their energy back to the community. They're some of those volunteers that help out the community. They're being recognized for everything from delivering Meals on Wheels, visiting nursing homes, working with organizations like Voice Corps. It's so critical of the time that they give to serve this community, serve the citizens of Central Ohio, and we want to thank you for that effort. You lead by example, and Central Ohio is a better community because of the work that you do throughout the year. Each of you live up to the mission of the Recreation and Parks Department. You're enriching the lives of our citizens. So thank you and congratulations to all those being recognized today, and also congratulations to the past honorees that are back this year. We want to thank you for everything you've done to contribute to the community. Now I'd like to introduce City Council Member Jiza Page. Councilmember Page is relatively new to City Council. But she chairs the Recreation and Parks Committee. She does have a background with our department and some past experiences with our department, and is a big supporter of the programs and services we offer. And Councilmember Page, I'd like to invite you to the podium to make a few comments.
Thank you, Director McKnight. And I am, as he said, the newest member of Columbus City Council. My name is Jiza Page, and I was appointed in this past January. And I was very honored and excited to be the chair of Recreation and Parks. I did grow up in a lot of the recreation centers across the city, just doing a lot of things as my youth and some of the programming. And I'm happy to now be in a position where I can continue to be supportive of not only the programming that we're providing for our youth across the city, but also all of you. And I thank you for your leadership across the city, the work that you are doing in your various organizations, and just being a stronghold for the city of Columbus. I am honored to be here, and I thank you for allowing me to come and speak briefly before you. We've had some legislation recently to come forward to continue to be supportive of COAAA, and I've been happy to encourage all of my colleagues to support this and just show your community that we love you, we appreciate the work that you're doing, and we want to continue to support you as you continue to do great work across our city. And I just love working with Director McKnight. I told him I think he's leaving because of me. It was about 2 weeks in and he announced his retirement. But I'm so happy for him, and I plan to follow in his footsteps and continue to be supportive of everyone in this room and make sure that our city is providing adequate programming in our various senior centers across the city. So I thank you again, and congratulations to all of the honorees, and have a great afternoon.
Thank you, Councilwoman Page, for being here today and for your interest in aging issues. We appreciate it. And now, Ben Marison, will you join me on stage for our Outstanding Service to Seniors Award, please? While he's coming up here, I'll tell you that this award was created to spotlight one organization's effort to make Central Ohio a better place for older adults and to inspire others to do the same. And we thought a great deal about who we would give this to on our 40th anniversary. We've recognized law enforcement, hospitals, law firms, and civic groups in the past. And this year, the answer was right on my front doorstep. We are saluting the Columbus Dispatch for their investigative coverage of so many issues important to older adults. These days, in-depth reporting requires a real investment by newspapers to allow reporters to really spend time on single issues. And the Columbus Dispatch has done award-winning work on 2 in-depth investigative series in 2014. One titled Unguarded, which examined the current state of the Ohio guardianship system, and one titled Home Care Crisis, that highlighted home health fraud and the need for more reform and oversight on reducing Medicaid fraud, while pointing out the very real issues, workforce issues, facing the industry. In addition, they've taken an in-depth look at adult protective services, which has long been a low priority in Ohio. And I had a legislator say to me a few years ago when I was over at the State House, well, it's a good thing you're talking about guardianship. Those issues don't get much attention around here. Well, this year, with all the focus the Columbus Dispatch has given these issues, they sure are getting serious attention and debate. So for that reason, we want to recognize the Columbus Dispatch, its editor, Ben Marison, and reporters for working and succeeding in making things better for older adults in all of Ohio, not just Central Ohio.
Cindy said I could say a few words if I only promised to say a few words, so I'll be brief. First, thank you very much for this. It means a lot to us. We work really hard to give voice to the voiceless. That's the mission of good journalists and good newspapers, and we try hard to be one. It's interesting, a week ago today, I had 2 reporters in Chicago being recognized for some of the work that Cindy mentioned. Today, I have 2 reporters on a plane to Denver, where they're being recognized for a national award, beating out every newspaper in this country for this kind of work. But I got to tell you that I couldn't be more proud to get this one because it comes from you all. And I don't work for the Associated Press managing editors or the Associated News Editors of America or the Scripps Foundation. We work for you. And for our company to receive this is extremely meaningful, and I thank you, and we are obviously not worthy of these representatives here that are being honored for their tremendous service, but someday we aspire to your greatness, and I thank you very much.
And now we are so happy to have Colleen Marshall join us because, let me be frank, our inductees would sure rather be introduced by our well-known Columbus anchorwoman. She is one busy lady, but always generous with her time when it comes to helping organizations. What a pleasure it is to introduce her as our Master of Ceremonies today. Colleen Marshall is well known as an Emmy-winning journalist and co-anchor at NBC4 at 6 o'clock and 11. She won an Emmy for the health program I Want to Go Home, A Journey Through Alzheimer's, and she was nominated for an Emmy for the political program NBC4's The Spectrum. She's also a practicing attorney at Porter, Wright, Morris, and Arthur. Colleen has interviewed the president and the governor one-on-one and recently reported from inside the Supreme Court. You can imagine how thrilled we are to have her here for the Hall of Fame. She's an advocate for many issues, especially Alzheimer's disease, which touches so many of our clients and families. Please welcome Colleen Marshall.
Thank you. Thank you all for having me. I'm so happy to be back. This is one of my favorite events to do every year. Although I have to tell you, I looked at the age range of the 13 adults that we're honoring today. It's from 61 to 91. Well, I'm going to be 59 in a couple of months. And I was just told by Bonnie that at 60 you get your golden Buckeye card. Is that true? Okay, I'm going to be like a draft dodger. I'm going to burn mine when it comes. But I just think it's remarkable. And I think that the group of people we're honoring today really helps us to prove that old age is starting later and later and later, and the age that you can continue to contribute to society and your community and your family and your churches and your organizations just keeps extending out farther and farther. And you're going to see that today in the remarkable people that we are going to be honoring as this year's 40th class of honorees for the Hall of Fame. So they are from all over 8 central Ohio counties: Delaware, Fairfield, Fayette, Franklin, Licking, Madison, and Pickaway, and Union counties. We're going to introduce our inductees to each of you individually. Now, they will be escorted to the stage by their county commissioner, and we will hear a little bit from the commissioner about the person, but as they're coming up, I'm going to introduce them to you as well, so you'll know who and why we're honoring these people. First of all, Marie Elsom of Union County, joined by Commissioner Gary Lee. Marie was nominated by Windsor and Community Seniors as a role model for staying active and engaged in a meaningful life. She volunteers at least 3 times a week at the Gables Extended Care Facility in Marysville, and she's very active in her church and at the Windsor and Community Senior Center. An advocate for seniors, Marie initiated a project at her church to purchase a bus to transport older adults weekly from their homes and nursing homes so they could come and enjoy Sunday service. Please join me in welcoming Marie Elsom.
Thank you, Colleen. It's certainly a pleasure and privilege to be here with the distinguished seniors that we have. We have a great group in Union County for a seniors organization. In 2003, when I became commissioner, my dream was to create an organization that would help our seniors stay at home and be happy. And I'm proud to say that the voters have supported levies, and that we have a very good organization in Union County that works for seniors. Let's hear it from the Union County folks here. Thank you. But why we're here today is to honor Marie Elsom. I am proud to say that my wife is a direct relation to Marie, which I guess makes me related to Marie. So I've known her for a long, long time. This is a person that just gives selfishly. She doesn't know when to quit. To give you an example, at Memorial Hospital, if you would put the time that she has donated on a 40-hour week, she has worked at Memorial Hospital for over 9 years. Quite commendable, Marie. And as well, she's been very committed to her church, St. John's Lutheran Church in Marysville. So I would like to ask you to help me honor Marie. And Marie, if you'd like to say something.
I would like to thank the staff and all the people involved in the Central Ohio Senior Hall of Fame for all of the work they do, and especially for the event they are sponsoring today. I'd like to thank my family and friends for being here. And most of all, I would like to thank God for the gracious blessings He has granted me my whole life.
Marie, we'd like to present you with this certificate and proclamation from the Union County Commissioners that named today Marie Elsom Day in Union County. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Marie, and thank you. Up next, John Hoskins of Union County. Again, he'll be with Commissioner Gary Lee. John was nominated by Avenel Oberlin, Robert Parrott, Rita Lou Parker, and Kyle Stofchak for his dedicated service to his country and his community. He commanded a rifle platoon in the U.S. Marine Corps in the Korean conflict. After a career working for the U.S. Agency for International Development and then with the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization, John retired and returned to the family farm near Richwood in Union County. His support for the community has been tangible. He donated land for the construction of the North Union District Veterans Memorial and for a new school complex and baseball diamond for the North Union Local School District. For years, he sponsored a North Union baseball boys team. He also organized and involved students in the VFW Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen essay competitions. He volunteered with the Big Brothers Big Sisters program at the elementary school as well. Please join me in welcoming John Hoskins.
Again, we in Union County are very, very proud of John Hoskins. This is a gentleman that not only was a veteran and a rifleman in the service, but when he came home, he wanted to serve his county as well. John has done numerous things that Colleen laid out, but the thing about John is every event that I went to, and I thought I made a lot, John was there. Because John supported every facet of Union County. He is a driving force for the seniors in the northern end of the county. He is also a driving force for the betterment of the economic development in northern Union County, and has had political leadership that has been extremely honorable. Join me in congratulating John Hoskins. John?
Hello, everyone. Is this distance right? Good. Thank you very much for coming here. And this is a very interesting gathering, to say the least. I want to thank the Central Ohio Area Agency for Aging for this great honor. I want to thank my nominators for this position, Rita Parker, Avenel Oberlin, Bob Parrott, and Kyle Stofczek, all who are very much active in the Union County, and there will be names will be known throughout the community. Also, I want to thank my family and friends for their support and presence here today, because they are obviously a very important part of everybody's status, and it's a very nice thing to have around. And I appreciate the award very much and look forward to continue to be a productive senior for years to come. I will be 86 in 2 weeks, and so that'll be something to get excited about. So this, I look forward to participating in this whole function here and in the various counties that have been named in the papers, and I'm sure it will come out very well. Congratulations to my fellow inductees, and thank you very much for everything, what people are doing.
John?
Yeah.
And as we leave the stage, I just ask that you would honor John, because the Union County Commissioners has also named John Hoskins Day in Union County. Very well deserved, John. Okay. You ready?
And I have to say, I didn't know this was you.
Thank you, John, and congratulations. Next, we have Dr. Jerome Dreesen of Delaware County, escorted by County Commissioner Gary Merrill. Dr. Dreesen was nominated by SourcePoint, which was formerly the Council for Older Adults. His visionary leadership and involvement has contributed to the development, expansion, and success of Source Point. It serves people aged 55 and older all throughout Delaware County. In addition to senior services, Dr. Dreesen was also a principal advocate for critically needed local mental health services for older adults through a partnership with Central Ohio Mental Health. He led a weekly support group for medical professionals with drug and alcohol dependency for more than 20 years, and he led a 12-step program in local prisons as well. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Dreesen.
I'm Gary Merrill, County Commissioner from Delaware County. I have been a commissioner for 3 years. I have been privileged to stand up on this stage for these last 3 years and be the representative from our county. And I'm always amazed and I'm honored to see all those seniors representing and doing all great things for all the counties in Central Ohio. And of course, I'm here today to speak specifically for Dr. Dreesen. I'm honored to introduce Dr. Jerry Dreesen, an outstanding older adult in Delaware County. The commissioners presented a proclamation to Dr. Dreesen in session last week, and I will read just a part of that in a moment. On behalf of all 3 commissioners, I again thank him for his service to our great county. Dr. Dreesen has been an officer and board member of Source Point, as formerly Counselor for Older Adults, in Delaware for more than 20 years, led the way to purchase the land for the new facility, and was responsible for many of the levy campaigns which made our local services possible. Executive Director Bob Horrocks shared with me that Dr. Dreesen's passion for service to others and dedication to helping those in need was always an inspiration to fellow board members. Dr. Dreesen is a retired psychiatrist who spent years helping those with addiction and mental health issues, and who for years led a weekly support group for medical professionals with drug and alcohol dependencies. For his volunteer service and his professional leadership, Dr. Dreesen has made a significant difference, and I congratulate him on his induction. Just a brief part of the proclamation. Whereas Dr. Dreesen has volunteered thousands of hours for the agency, and whereas he has led 4 successful senior service levy campaigns and passage of a $12 million bond issue to build a headquarters and 60,000 square foot center for use by those over the age of 55, and I'm also a member. I know I don't look that old, right? And whereas Dr. Dreesen has tirelessly advocated for mental health, addiction, and recovery services, therefore be it resolved that the Delaware County Board of Commissioners hereby congratulates Jerome E. Dreesen, MD, as the 2015 inductee into the Central Ohio Senior Citizens Hall of Fame. Signed by Gary Merrill, Commissioner Barb Lewis, and Commissioner Ken O'Brien. Congratulations, Jerry.
Hi. I think the hardest thing for me was standing up without falling over today. The interesting thing is that over 20 years ago, an architect, Bob Horrocks, who's the executive director up at Source Point, which really is the Delaware County Center, and myself got on a plane around 8 o'clock in the morning and flew down to South Carolina to get this piece of land. The thing was that I was told immediately before boarding the plane that I was from New York. They were going to be negotiating for this land, so I shouldn't open my mouth. Well, being from New York, I understood that. So when we got out there, I kept very, very quiet, and I was trying to pick up signs as to whether this lady would sell us the land. To tell you the truth, I thought she was a multi-millionairess, and she probably was, but she kept dropping Southern fried chicken legs in her bag, which was lined with plastic. So I got worried right away, and I didn't say much, and then finally I realized while we were in South Carolina that I knew this lady, and I had been to her house for dinner because I used to walk with her husband on a regular basis. Anyway, to make this story much longer, I decided that finally I was going to tell her that I was from New York. And she ended up giving us 1 acre free and selling us another 12 acres at an unbelievable price. So I felt really an integral part of this whole process. And I can't tell you, I was surprised when I got this honor, and I'm very, very happy to be here today. Thank you.
I have to ask this question. Did you have chicken at her house for dinner that evening?
We did.
Okay.
And I don't think it was the same chicken. Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations. Helen Anderson of Franklin County will be escorted by County Administrator Ken Wilson. Helen was nominated by Serving Our Neighbors Son Ministries. She inspires others with her positive image of aging. Helen has stepped out of her comfort zone many times as a member of the volunteer hospitality team for Son Ministries' Evening Family ESOL Kids Club program. The adult students attend the English classes as a means to secure employment to provide for their families. Although Helen doesn't speak a second language, she warmly interacts with adults who are newcomers to this country and represents at least 34 different countries of origin. She has learned that a warm, genuine smile is a universal language as she helps to build a sense of community. Congratulations to Helen Anderson.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners and the citizens of Franklin County, I'm here to congratulate Helen Anderson on a life of service to our children, saving our neighborhoods, is very commendable. Someone that is willing to give so much of themselves to others. And we all as a community have to be very grateful and thankful to citizens like you that make Franklin County the place that many people from all over tend to want to gravitate to because of people like you, Ms. Anderson, and your contributions to our community. You know, what you've done within the city of Hilliard, helping kids that need that helping hand due to their unfortunate circumstances, and giving them hope. And you just can't underestimate the efforts of giving a child hope. So on behalf again of the 3 county commissioners, President Marilyn Brown, Paula Brooks, and John O'Grady, I would like to present this resolution to you and honor you for being inducted into the Central Ohio Hall of Fame. Thank you.
I want to thank the amazing staff at Serving Our Neighbors, and I plan on being there 6 more years.
Congratulations. Next, Thomas J. David, also of Franklin County, will join Administrator Ken Wilson on stage. Tom was nominated by the staff of National Church Residences at Lincoln Village to recognize him for improving the quality of life for his neighbors and those in the community with cancer or in treatment for addictions and behavioral health issues. His enthusiasm for life is contagious. He has used his artistic talents to brighten the lives of other residents at Lincoln Village, teaching art classes and helping with skits. His largest project was the annual 4th of July float for Lincoln Village. Each year he works diligently on the float, but gracefully gave up his seat so one of his neighbors might ride in the Westland Business Association parade. Finally, Tom will ride in the parade this year because the planning committee for the parade has named him Grand Marshal. So congratulations to Tom.
Again, I'm here to congratulate Mr. Thomas J. David for your contributions to the citizens of Franklin County. The years of service that you put in for the county, helping those that are in need, those that are through using art to help individuals that don't feel like they can quite make it, but they're using the gift of art and using your creativity and lifting people up. I would truly like to thank you as I present this resolution on behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners, President Marilyn Brown, Paula Brooks, and John O'Grady. Again, thank you for your service, and I hope you continue to help the citizens of Lincoln Village by giving them hope when they're dealing with illnesses and different afflictions. Thank you again, sir. Thank you.
Well, I certainly get more back from everybody than what I give. I cannot believe the energy I get from the people that I've worked with. And I have goosebumps right now. I do. I have goosebumps just thinking about some of them. And I was able to help and make those people laugh. And I get so much more back than I give. And this was also one way to meet Colleen Marshall. Anyhow, I'd like to say, I'll never live that one down. Oh, this is my son, Scott. Doug. Oh, geez. You got me so shook up now. Anyhow, I'd like to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey, I may have a date later. Thank you so much. Up next, John Watkins of Madison County, escorted by County Commissioner David Doom. John Watkins, or Jack as he prefers to be called, was nominated by Life Care Alliance for his unwavering commitment to volunteering with the Meals on Wheels program. His efforts and reliability enable housebound older adults to remain safe and independent in the comfort of their own homes. Older adults and individuals living with a medical challenge look forward to his arrival, knowing that he will bring a smile, some conversation, and a hot, nutritious meal. Jack may be the only person visiting that day to check in on their well-being. His 10 years of volunteering with the American Red Cross on a disaster action team demonstrated the same tireless dedication to helping individuals and families out of a vulnerable period in their lives by providing their most basic needs, food and shelter. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Watkins.
Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to thank all of the Hall of Fame inductees, past and present, all the volunteers. Being in government for the last 18 years as county commissioner, you can't really function without volunteers. You can't function a local government without volunteer board members. Jack volunteers to deliver Meals on Wheels. Many of you volunteer your time in other ways. We need you desperately. We need more of you, to be quite honest with you. And we admire you greatly. And we're here to help you in any way we can. Jack is relatively new to Madison County. The first time I met Jack was presenting him the Don Doom Award for actually the most hours worked volunteering, delivering meals. Don was my father, and much like Jack, I see a lot of similarities. They love to volunteer their time. They love to help others. Probably if my father was in this room, you wouldn't know it. Jack's a very quiet guy, at least what I know of him. He's just an amazing guy. I found out also he's a retired veteran.
Yes.
Served his country
Korean.
in Korea. So we have great admiration for him on that. The Life Care Alliance organization serves many meals in Madison County, and I'm sure other surrounding counties, as you well know. Sometimes, my dad always told me, sometimes you're the only person this individual may see all day long. So knocking on their door, saying hi to them, delivering them a fresh hot meal is something that they need, and honestly something we need to do more of, because as you just heard, volunteering your time, you get back much more than you give. So on behalf of the Madison County Commissioners, Jack, for his dedicated service to Madison County area, and congratulating him on his induction into the Central Ohio Area Citizens Hall of Fame, given to him on behalf of the Madison County Commissioners, David Doom, Paul Gross, and Mark Forrest. I congratulate him and thank him very much.
Well, I'd like to think that I represent the people that volunteer all the time. I just happen to be the lucky one that was picked to be up there on the stage. So again, I thank you, and I get a hug too.
Thank you, Colleen.
This is my lucky day. Colleen McMurray of Franklin County, escorted by County Administrator Kenneth Wilson. Colleen was nominated by her family, Audra and Mark McMurray, and Kim and Warren Rhodes. She is passionate about educating today's young people on the civil rights movement through sharing her own experiences. Colleen has been a guest lecturer at Bishop Hartley High School and in the Upper Arlington School District, where she presented the program One Woman's Journey, what it was like growing up in Ohio as an African-American woman from 1930 to the current time. She was interviewed by the author of a biography on former Speaker of the House, William M. McCulloch. Mr. McCulloch was one of the drafters of the Civil Rights Bill as a member of the U.S. House of Representatives. Colleen also submitted testimony for the selection on a bronze bust of Speaker McCulloch and will be used to educate Ohio school children. Please join me in congratulating Colleen McMurray.
Good afternoon again. Again, I would like to congratulate all of the former Hall of Fame members as well as all of the individuals inducted today. I'm here to honor Ms. Colleen McMurray. It was fitting that Congresswoman Beatty's assistant had pom-poms when I looked over your bio and looked at your contributions to The Ohio State University and the support of its athletes and families. Wish we could have Brutus Buckeye in the band just to give proper acknowledgement to your service. You've dedicated your life to serving and educating others, serving as the president of SALT, Seniors in Living Today, and again, as a local parental figure for many OSU athletes that are recruited from all over the country and giving them the guidance and the support they need. Serving as a volunteer to the Ohio State University College of Medicine, and your contributions as a civil rights speaker in local high schools. Through you, so many students and individuals within Franklin County have seen your example, and you've touched the lives of many during the course of your career and through your volunteerism. So on behalf of the Franklin County Board of Commissioners and all of the citizens of Franklin County, I would like to commend you on your contribution and say that we really appreciate having role models like you within the county. On behalf of President Marilyn Brown, Paula Brooks, and Commissioner O'Grady, thank you again for your service. Ms. Colleen McMurray.
I am doubly excited, not only for this award, but I share the stage with another colleague. The name is not a common one, and I'm really excited today. Thank you so much to the Central Ohio Area Agency on Aging. For you to produce this kind of event for seniors is excellent because it keeps us excited and energetic about what we do. I'd like to congratulate the other honorees today. You all are such precious people to your communities. As I think about this honor, I think about my parents. As I was growing up many, many, many years ago, my parents used to talk about values. And they would always talk about be faithful and true to your Lord, to your family, to education, and to the community. And I've tried to do those things through my years here on earth. I also would like to thank not only Bonnie Ackerman for all of the work she did with us to get us through this process, but I'd like to thank the people who nominated me. My daughter-in-law, can you believe a daughter-in-law did this? My daughter-in-law, Audra McMurray, and her husband, my son Mark, and my daughter, Kim Rhodes, and her husband, my son-in-law, Warren. Would you all please stand up? I so appreciate this honor. Thank you to my family and friends who have come today, and to all of you for being a part of this. You know, now when my phone rings and I don't answer, you know that I'm somewhere out there trying to make a difference in someone's lives to bring them joy, which ultimately brings me joy. Thank you.
Congratulations. And if my phone rings and I don't answer it, you know that once again I have lost my phone. I have to tell you this, I'm not making this up. Cabot Ray loses his wallet, his keys, or his phone at least 3 times a week. And we all have to search for it. Ask Jim Ganal, we have a running joke about it. It's like, what did Cabot lose today? Anyway, up next is Catherine Willis of Franklin County, again joined by Kenneth Wilson. Catherine was nominated by Corbin Commons senior residents. Her community service spans the generations from children to senior citizens. Catherine is the visionary founder of Friends of Art for Community Enrichment, known as FACE, with a goal to educate and enhance the lives of disadvantaged Central Ohioans through the performing and visual arts, particularly the art of African Americans and Africa. Through FACE, she initiated the Urban Strings Youth Orchestra to introduce urban youth to stringed instruments by sponsoring lessons and expenses, and the Sacred Sister Mentoring Program that matches mentors with urban 6th grade girls to help them reach their highest potential. To create an opportunity for exercise and socialization for older adults, she collaborated with Life Care Alliance on the Celebration for Seniors program, also known as Back in the Day Dance, with music from the 50s to the 90s. Catherine is featured in the Longstreet Cultural Wall that celebrates the history of the northeast side of Columbus. Please join me in congratulating Catherine Willis.
Thank you. I'm here again to recognize another fine citizen and contributor to Franklin County. It is truly the county's people that make it great. And I'm here with another great contributor, Catherine Willis. I would like to recognize the years you've spent as a teacher in the Columbus Public School System, touching the lives of many of our young people, and through founding of Friends of Art for Community Enrichment in Urban Strings to share the arts of Africa and African Americans and classical music with urban youth, and truly showing them how music and art can make the city a calmer, more gentler place to live. And it just contributes to their overall academic enrichment. So thank you for all you've done for our youth over the years. On behalf of the Franklin County Commissioners, President Marilyn Brown, Paula Brooks, and John O'Grady, I would like to thank you for all of your contributions and your continuing support for the children and the families and the citizens of Franklin County.
Thank you.
Thank you. I want to acknowledge the wind beneath my wings. I would like to first acknowledge the women who are here from FACE. If you would please stand. If you can't stand, raise your hand. And the other group of swingers that I want to introduce you to are the residents of Corbin Commons. Please stand. Raise your hand if you can't stand. These are the people that are the wings, the wind beneath my wings. And I want to say thank you for nominating me. Thank all of you for being here. And I will continue to try to be the person that you want me to be. Thank you.
Now we have someone from Licking County. Barbara Lechner of Licking County is escorted by County Commissioner Rick Black. Barbara was nominated by Carol Wechtel in recognition of her passion for helping families with autism. At 76, her present schedule, are you ready for this? This is her weekly schedule. Mondays from 4 to 7, she runs a free after-school program for youth with autism to promote routine skills, address anxiety issues, and involve them in non-competitive physical activities. On Tuesdays and Thursdays from 9:30 in the morning till 2 in the afternoon, she runs a program for 2-year-olds with speech, hearing, and language differences. On Saturday, she devotes an hour to a 22-year-old who she has mentored since infancy. On Sunday, 2 to 3 hours assisting a 16-year-old with community integration and development skills for dining and shopping. These are children with autism. When asked what she does for fun, Barbara said, "This is my excitement. While the lows are many, the challenge and the result of making contact is phenomenal." Please join me in congratulating Barbara Lechner.
First, Colleen, that golden Buckeye card's not that bad. I've had mine for a little over a year, so don't burn it. Being a county commissioner for just 4 months and 20 days, I'm very new at this sort of thing, and just starting to meet some of these wonderful people, particularly in Licking County. Got to meet Barbara last week for the first time. What a wonderful person, and all you've done, just thank you so much for all you've done for the folks of Licking County.
Thank you. They said I was going to have an opportunity to speak for a few minutes, and I'm a speech-language pathologist, so grab all. I make it a habit to scare myself every day, and so this is it. So anyway, my life has been so enriched by volunteering. In the 60s, I volunteered to teach reading to adults, and I didn't realize that as part of that program, they were going to enroll me in graduate school. I hadn't gotten my degree in speech-language pathologist at Marietta because they didn't offer the course. So somehow, by volunteering, I got into graduate school, and after I finished my degree in '79, I was talking to a Sertoma group because they were paying for the speech therapy for one of their neighbors, and I told them that I had a dream of starting a preschool for children with speech and language and communication problems, and they gave me a check and said, get the show on the road. And so, I had to do all the planning and everything else, but the Sertoma group has been a continuing help all through these years, ever since '79 when we opened that preschool that I was talking about, and they've contributed money all through the years, and also a lot of them are still serving on my board. And because I told them that if they got off the board, they had to find me another volunteer, so they stuck with me. So, and also because that I have been greatly enhanced by having teachers for the program that were very nurturing and very enthusiastic. And so when I left, after they gave me the money, I talked to the hospital where I was working, and they donated the space and the utilities and the housekeeping and all those kinds of things. Otherwise, we couldn't have had the program. And then when I left the hospital in 2004, St. Edward's Catholic Church offered their facilities for us to use, so we were able to continue the preschool program. And then another volunteer opportunity presented itself, and I was the president of the board for the homeless shelter, St. Vincent Haven, and it was like doing the paperwork for a restaurant and a hotel for homeless men, many of whom had mental health problems. The shelter was built and opened in 2010, and it has had over 20 residents every day since the opening. Just as the shelter was opening, Monsignor made a pulpit plea for somebody to help a family who had a child with autism, and the father was going to Iraq for the third time, and so I got involved with that family. And I had worked with children with autism since the 70s, when the incidence was 1 in 5,000. And I'd never worked in the home of a child with autism, and so I scared myself to death again, and started reading and all the research and the stories of those people who had had autism, and also talking with families. And as a result, we opened our first autism camp for 9 weeks in 2013. And the free summer camps and the after-school programs that were started in 2014 continue today. And again, I thank St. Edward's for donating facilities, because we're riding bicycles up and down the hallways in the church, and the children, we've seen make such great progress. It's a very big honor for me to be here today to talk to you, but actually where my honors come is when I see a 2-year-old who was born after a traumatic pregnancy, but whose family we trained in the plague program from the very beginning, as soon as the child left the hospital. And now this little gal does not even need our services as a preschool program, because she's the star of the whole program. And then I also have seen preteens with autism when they are in the program, and they're diagnosed because of their poor social skills. And the other day we were sitting around eating, and one of them tried to outdo the other one by doing an April Fool joke. I can make a wilder April Fool joke than you can make an April Fool joke. And that's typical behavior for preteens. And so I was just, jumping up and down. And then they also spontaneously started a charades game. So I thought that was pretty typical for those kids. But mainly why I'm here is because I want to tell you that back in the 70s, when the incidence was 1 in 5,000, 3,000, depending on who you're reading, it is now 1 in 68. And the incidence is growing, and some researchers are predicting that by the year 2030, it will be 1 in 1 child. So I want to, start a program that's going to make their optimal development possible. So autism is the fastest growing serious developmental delay in the United States. More children are diagnosed with autism this year than with AIDS, diabetes, and cancer combined. Autism costs the nation $137 billion per year. They've received only 5% of the research funding for many less prevalent childhood diseases. Boys are 5 times more likely than girls to have autism. There is no medical detection or cure for autism. Only 20% of those with autism are employed full-time, and this includes people that have great potential, like Bill Gates, Einstein, and they have the potential for finding the cure for cancer, They could have gotten Obamacare up and running much quicker and more efficiently. They could, because due to their focus and honesty, and they will be needed in the next cyber war. Half the children diagnosed with autism have average or above IQs, and the average age of diagnosis is still 4 years of age, although what I'm advocating for is that we start to treat every child as soon as they leave the hospital and teach their parents how to play with them so that they will reach their optimum development. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Lechner. Jerry Satterfield of Licking County will be joined by Commissioner Tim Bubb. Jerry was nominated by the Licking County Historical Society. He is an 86-year-old veteran of the Korean conflict, a retiree at Rockwell International, and a walking history lesson. Jerry is the most frequent contributor to the Do You Know Newark column in the Sunday edition of the Newark Advocate. His articles not only document the history of Licking County, they also promote important discussions on historical preservation. Future generations will benefit from his leadership in historical preservation. Jerry contributes his time and funds to numerous organizations. He is affectionately known as the Flower Man by the staff at the hospice that he visits monthly because he brings flowers to the patients each and every time. Please join me in congratulating Jerry Satterfield.
I'm going to try to do this without using the PA system, if that's all right. It's a little flat today. First of all, on behalf of Commissioner Black and myself, we're really honored with these two Licking County residents being here today. But you know, as I kind of reflected on what we've heard so far and what's yet to hear, and I've seen so many people doing so much, and as the lady from Franklin County said, and joy seems to bring back joy, it makes you feel kind of small as someone who maybe is paid to work in public service to realize how much is being given and how much is being given back to all of our communities. And it's humbling, and it kind of makes you feel small in that regard. You know, active citizenship really doesn't end at retirement or at the Golden Buckeye card. It just begins, and it's pretty clear today that it becomes much more passionate as the days roll out. Volunteerism, joy bringing joy. Jerry has a tremendous history in our community. He served in the Korean conflict. He came back, and he was a good guy. He came back in his community and worked and lived a good life. And all he does now into his late 80s is just give back constantly. If I had to reflect on him, and you know, as you reflect on this, Jerry and Colleen, I think it reflects on everyone in the room. When I think of Jerry, I think of energy, high energy. I hope to God I have that much energy at that age. Humor, extreme humor, friendly, kind humor. Joy in helping others, a man who has a good heart. And I think all of this class of 2015, that's how we characterize the people we see here today as people who have a good heart. And that's irreplaceable. And a smile. He's been an ambassador for our community. He speaks well and often and writes well and often and communicates, and people just love the guy. And he gives back, whether it's at hospice or in 1,000 different ways in our community. He's one of those people that gives and volunteers whether anybody's watching or not, or whether it's without being prompted. If I had to sum up how I feel about this nominee, Jerry Satterfield from Newark, Ohio, Licking County, just a darn nice guy. And we're honored to have him here with you today, and I'm honored to stand on this stage and see all of you because this is a very special day. Jerry?
Well, I would like to thank Cindy and her group for, I don't know how they ever selected me. And when I see these other people that's been selected, I think, wow, how am I ever get here? But anyhow, I would like to have two quotes. One of them's 100 years old by Wilbur Wright, one of the Wright brothers. And it applies to all these people who was on the stage, all these nominees, all these commissioners, and you'll understand as soon as I say it. This is a quote. "No one ever succeeded without effort." Wilbur Wright said that 100 years ago.
Now, I have another quote, and it's from Andy Rooney, which is a little bit newer. And this applies to me. This is for me, okay? I've learned that the easiest way for me to grow as a person is to surround myself with people smarter than me. And that's... I want to tell the story. It's very short, very short. In April, we were here and we had our picture taken. This was down on East Long Street. And one of the ladies, I don't know, maybe it was Cindy. I think it might have been Cindy. She said that us nominees, after the ceremony, we'd all have to do line dancing to get our awards. But yeah. And I thought, well, I didn't think that was going to happen because I knew what the band was, and I'm pretty sure he doesn't play music for line dancing. So I think we're pretty safe. And the other thing I wanted to say, this was said in the back room. I said to this young lady right over here, she is a lot better looking up close than she is over television.
Whoa! Woo! You gotta give him a hug for that.
Yeah. Anyway. Where's the camera? Where's the camera? Where's the camera? So anyway, thanks an awful lot. And I think everybody that's been nominated, they've got a wonderful group of people. Thank you.
I forgot to tell you, he's a smart guy, too.
This day just keeps getting better and better. Up next, we have Hal Smith of Fairfield County, escorted by Anna Tobin, who's representing the Fairfield County Commissioners. She's the Executive Director of Meals on Wheels, Older Adult Alternatives of Fairfield County. Hal was nominated by Gender Road Christian Church. He is the go-to guy for everything from changing light bulbs to running computer cables to building closets, even room additions at Gender Road Christian Church. Hal quietly uses his skills to get things done and improve the lives of others, whether his volunteer efforts are directed toward helping hearing-impaired children enjoy the Shrine Circus or repairing radios for the Voice Corps reading service to assist the visually handicapped. Please join me in congratulating Hal Smith.
Well, it is very humbling to be here today, and I'm honored to represent our county commissioners in presenting this award to Hal. What I've noticed over this whole afternoon is superheroes don't always wear capes. They wear military uniforms, they wear PYAA shirts and supporting the athletics. They can wear all types of hats. But one thing they all do is they roll up their sleeves and they get busy. And you've all gotten busy. And Hal, I want to thank you on behalf of the Fairfield County Commissioners for being a superhero for our county and for being a positive role model for your children, for your grandchildren, for children and families in the community, and for our county. So on behalf of Commissioner Stephen Davis, Mike Kiger, and Dave Levesey, I'd like to present you with the Certificate of Special Recognition for being inducted into the Senior Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
First, I'd like to thank Pastor John Roming from Gender Road Christian Church for even considering submitting my name. Secondly, I would like to thank COA for accepting that nomination for an award. And thirdly, I'd like to thank my family and friends for all the support over the years that they've given me in my various endeavors. Years ago, I found a poem written by Edgar Guest, and I'd like to share that with you right now because I think it applies to not only the awardees here today, but many of the people in the congregation. He said, "I'd like to think when life is done that I had filled a needed post, that here and there I'd paid my fare with more than idle talk and boast, that I had taken gifts divine the breath of life and manhood find, and tried to use them now and then in service for my fellow men. Thank you.
That was lovely. Thank you so much. Mary Pike of Pickaway County is escorted by Commissioner Harold Henson. Mary was nominated by Wendy Hucks of the Volunteer Guardian Program. She is a perfect example of a volunteer guardian, protecting and advocating for those who cannot speak for themselves. As a court-appointed guardian of the person, she becomes the substitute decision maker for vulnerable individuals with mental impairments who are unable to make sound personal decisions about their own medical care and living environment. She takes her role further than required by a number of visits to nursing homes and ensuring proper care and participating in care planning with the staff. For Mary, her assigned person is an extension of her own family. She enhances her person's quality of life by taking her on shopping outings and to lunch. She attends holiday parties and activities at the facility to share companionship that is meaningful and fun. Thanks to Mary's efforts, her person has become reacquainted with family in Florida after no communication for many years. They exchange cards and photos as well as phone calls using Mary's cell phone. So congratulations. We really congratulate you, Mary Pike.
I have to admit that I've been a commissioner a little over 2 years, and this is the most fulfilling duty that I've had to date. Thanks for having me. Mary, it is my pleasure to represent Pickaway County Commissioners, and on behalf of the Commissioners, to represent the people of Pickaway County for your hard work and all the time that you give. I can't think of a more fitting way to make your county a better place and to serve your fellow human beings in what you do. I'm extremely proud to represent you, and thank you for making Pickaway County a better place. Thank you for making America a better country. And if you'd like to say a few words, please. No?
Thank you. Congratulations. And our final, last but certainly not least honoree of the day is Teresa Combs of Fayette County, escorted by County Commissioner Jack DeWeese. Teresa was nominated by Brenda Arledge for her gift of encouragement in caring ways. Over 20 years ago, she wrote a poem that she continues to share with others as a personal ministry. Her oncologist makes the poem available to other patients. The poem reads, "Spring, time to plant seeds. Pray without ceasing, love one another, accept God's love, nourish the word, trust in God's daily guidance. Scatter that which is good, encourage others, enjoy the beauty of God's world, devote time to help others, and sow the good works." Please join me in congratulating Teresa Combs.
Thank you. It is my honor to be up here with Teresa Combs from Fayette County. I would start off by thanking the ladies in the green room because they said they were saving Teresa and I because we were the best for last. So here we are. It is my honor to present Teresa Combs this seal of Fayette County from Commissioners Tony Anderson, Dan Dean, and Jack DeWeese. Congratulations on all the work you do, the volunteer work that you put in, all the kindness that you show to people in Fayette County. Thank you.
I guess it was like about 2 months ago, I received a phone call, and this person said, "How old are you?" And I told them, they said, "Well, you meet that criteria. Would you mind if I nominated you for the Senior Citizen Hall of Fame?" And I felt very honored, and the rest is history. But I reflect back on that in 1996, the very first junior achievement class I ever done. there was this boy in my class, and he was sitting there, and all of a sudden he says, "How old are you?" And the teacher says, "That's something you don't ask, especially a woman." He sits there, and you could just tell that the gears were going around, and he was going to figure it out. So he asked me, he said, "I bet you know my dad." And I said, "Well, that's possible. Who is your dad?" And he told me, and I said, "Yes, I graduated with him." He said, "Then I know how old you are." So it was very cute, but I would just like to thank everybody, and it's been a blessing to me when I volunteer. You go in there and you expect that you're giving them a blessing, but you come out of there with a blessing yourself. And I'm so privileged that I can do this. And I would like Brenda Arledge to stand up, please. I don't know where my group is, but she's the one that nominated me. And my mother passed away a little over 6 years ago, and she was very instrumental in my life. She was a single parent, and she raised me to love the Lord and be in the church. And she always taught me to do unto others as you would have others to do unto you. And that's how I've always tried to pattern my life. But since my mother's death, there's been a special lady in my life. I consider her my rock, and that's June Milstead. Would she please stand? I think so. She's been a rock in my life, and we spend a lot of time together, and I'm able to help her out and everything. June is nearly blind, and I just appreciate doing things for everybody, and I just appreciate this, and it's been quite an honor, and thank you very much.
Well, I just have to say, one of the reasons I enjoy this program so much is it's so wonderful to see all these counties throughout central Ohio being driven and supported by people who really, if they wanted to, could sit back and put their feet up and nobody would think any less of them. It's remarkable to me the amount of hours, the dedication, and the passion, and we've seen with the people here today, just the wide variety of services that you are providing, and what an example you set for your children and your grandchildren, and in some cases, probably your great-grandchildren. Could we please give all of these honorees another round of applause? Congratulations to all of you. And Cindy Farson has some closing remarks to make to you, I believe.
Thank you, Colleen Marshall. We really appreciate it so much. I find myself unable to resist always saying, let's give her another hand, even when we keep giving her a hand, because she just adds so much to the ceremony. I have really enjoyed today's very much, meeting all the people here and hearing about their stories, and Colleen adds so much to it. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming today. We really appreciate it.